It's Mike Lynch with AmeriFirst Financial. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. It's time for your Monday morning mortgage update for the week of September the 5th, which was yesterday on a Monday, but the markets were closed because of our Labor Day 3-day weekend. So it's Tuesday, September the 6th. I hope everybody again had a great weekend. We had a great weekend, stayed cool, went up to Mount Shasta, did the 10-man triathlon, had a great time with friends, stayed and listened to some great music at the Blackberry Music Festival in Mount Shasta. Our hearts and our prayers go out to all the victims of the mill and mountain fire that started last week in the Weed area. And I'll tell you, the Lincoln Heights community has just been devastated. If you've seen any of the reports, and they lost a lot of their homes in the 2014 fire, and they just happened again to them. So there's a need out there, and there's just a lot of questions of where you donate money. There's a lot of GoFundMe pages. Well, the California Office of Emergency Services has vetted 2 funds that give money to the recovery efforts of the mill fire. I've included their links below. So if you don't know where to donate, definitely go to these 2 funds. They are legitimate. So what happened last week and what's happening this week? Last week, rates ended the week higher than they started by a little bit. It was a jobs week last week. So job creation was up, wages were up, actually pretty decent economic numbers if you're looking at jobs. And that really should have increased those rates a lot higher, but unemployment was up. So wait a minute, how can jobs be up and unemployment be up? Because in the past months, we've predicted a lot of estimates. There's been about 11 million people just not even in the workforce. Well, now a lot of those people have started to enter the workforce. So that's how you get higher unemployment and increased jobs. As more people that haven't been counted are now being counted. Interesting statistic that 80% of the jobs that were created in the 15 to 19 age group. So that means a lot of entry-level jobs, not spending a lot of money in the economy, but a lot of those jobs are added. And there was also a lot of revisions to past jobs reports over the last few months that actually lowered the jobs that were created. So kind of a mixed bag, some misleading numbers when you see all these jobs added because of some data that was kind of under the hood, so to speak. So what are we looking at this week? The 3 things: the central banks around the world, our Fed, and then data. So our Fed was caught on its heels and not raising the Fed fund rate to fight inflation. They kind of acted like inflation wasn't an issue. We know it was. And a lot of banks or a lot of economies around the world did the same thing. Well, now they're starting to come on board. Australia raised their Fed fund rate this morning. Canada expected to raise their Fed fund rate again this week. And Thursday is a big day. The ECB, European Central Bank, is going to expected to raise their Fed fund rate on Thursday. It's the second time they'll have raised it in 10 years. And that's very, very impactful. They're taking inflation seriously, but we really are going to watch Thursday to see how seriously they're taking it. Are they going to raise it 3/4 of a point, maybe a quarter? Obviously, the bigger increase, the more serious they are about fighting inflation, which is a big issue there. And I'll talk about that in a sec. Our Fed, our Fed members are going to be talking, being interviewed, giving their opinion on the economy leading up to the next Fed meeting the end of this month, which they're expected to raise our Fed fund rate another 3/4 of a point. So it'll be the 3rd time they've done this in a row, and they need to do this to fight inflation. So we're going to be listening to a lot of those Fed members. What direction is our economy going in, and how seriously are they taking this? And then the last thing is data. Really 2 things coming out this week. Today, ISM manufacturing numbers come out, which basically gives us a snapshot of the service industry. How strong is the service industry? The stronger the report, the better for the economy. Rates will go up. If that report is weak, it could actually give us an improvement on rates. And then Thursday, as I talked about, the ECB's Fed policy will come out. And then something happened interesting on Friday. Russia closed down a major gas pipeline with indefinitely. They said they're not sure when or if they're going to open it back up. They gave some reason that a turbine was leaking. And there's an estimate that this will increase energy costs in Europe by over 200%. That is massive. And we're a global economy, so the inflation numbers that are going to hit Europe in the coming months are going to be significant, especially with energy costs. Really tough for them. So I want to give you a snapshot of really what our market looks like. We've seen rates kind of have leveled off, but really over the last couple weeks, we've seen those rates actually increase. And so remember, this is the snapshot of the Mortgage-backed securities, when we see a downward trend in this graph, that shows rates are going up, and we really don't expect that to change anytime soon. So our forecast for this week is to lock. We're locking today, and we're not changing that unless there's some unexpected news in the economy. So stay cool this week. If you have any questions on the market, please let me know. Forward this to anybody you think can benefit. Have a great, productive week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.